Hi folks, Courtney here, and I want to talk to you about something that I have personally used for a long time and that I find especially life-changing, and I want to share it with you because I feel like it is the secret to a lot of my success. That, not to say I don't have failures in life, because I have had plenty of those, but I definitely try to learn from them. But a lot of the success I have had in life with different things I attribute to this. And I recently heard it called the Hour of Power. Now, I don't necessarily confine it to an hour, but I'll tell you what the Hour of Power is. And that came from Jack Canfield's book called The Principles of Success. I hope I have that name right. If not, you can look it up. He's the guy that wrote all the Chicken Soup for the Souls with his different business partners. And this was something he quoted from somebody else, and he gave credit to the person, but I don't remember what their name was. But an hour of power is 20 minutes of exercise, 20 minutes of meditation and visualization, and 20 minutes a day of listening to something that is motivating or that teaches you something, a new skill, or working on yourself. Now, that is something that I was incorporating, but not in a specific hour. And honestly, that doesn't really work for me necessarily every day. So some things that I do, I try to schedule exercise at least 5 times a week. I know Wednesdays and Fridays are generally pretty crazy for me. I also know that for the past 10.5 years, I work every other weekend. That's coming to an end for me. I don't put any pressure on myself. I'm realistic with myself on days when I'm working because my job is very active, and I know I'll be getting a lot of physical activity when I'm training yoga teachers. However, if I don't have a crazy day, on the days when life is a little less crazy, I schedule a minimum of 20 to 30 minutes of exercise a day. And I try to go to a 1-hour yoga class per week. So if I'm on my treadmill walking, I listen to something positive or watch a YouTube video to learn something. So I do that every day. Every morning when I get up, I drink a cup of tea with my husband, and then when he leaves for work, I generally will watch about 30 minutes worth of YouTube videos to learn something new or that's motivational. So that's just like my morning habit. I actually get up an hour earlier than I have to just to do that. I then try to meditate for a minimum of 5 to 10 minutes every day. Now, you have to know I teach meditation every day, up to 6 times a week usually. Actually, now it's 10 times a week, not including weekends. And I also just kind of have a habit of going into meditation and practicing all of the things that I know whenever I need it. It's just become the norm because I've been doing it since I was 13. But I consciously set my timer and try to practice something for 5 to 10 minutes every day. Recently, I've been doing visualization, and I find that I need a lot longer for that. And so I will generally visualize what I want in my life, or what I am needing, and I will not only visualize seeing it come true, but I will act as if in my mind that it already has. So I might say, thank you for letting me have my house, or it feels so good to have my house paid off and all of my income can go into savings and travel. And I kind of think about feeling as if it's already happened. If you watch my videos, you know I have an elderly dog and he coughs a lot. So that's him in the background. Some other things that I have just done ritually is I will try new things, what I call mini habits. And I picked this up years ago from, I'm probably going to murder this last name, Leo Babauta, who is from Zen Habits. He's one of the oldest bloggers, not old in age, but he's been around for a long time. He was like in the top 10 bloggers maybe 10 years ago when blogging was fairly new. He's awesome. I love him. He has inspired a lot of the people like the minimalist and this new movement you see with minimalism and the FIRE movement. I have been teaching voluntary simplicity for years, or facilitating that. So I also had been inspired by him and many other people, but it's what I call mini habits. And it's basically, if you want to start a new habit, instead of trying to say, I don't work out at all, but I'm going to work out an hour a week or an hour a day, you might just say 5 days a week, I'm going to walk to the mailbox. Now, most of the time, if you just get up and walk to the mailbox, you're going to keep on doing something more. So I've implemented this in many ways. Like, so I'm going to walk around the block, and then the next week I will walk around the block twice. Things like that. And what it's done is it has ended up being a habit. Walking is a habit for me. It's something I do 3 to 4 times a week minimally, and I really enjoy it. I enjoy that time to listen or learn something. And it started with, I've always been a walker, but when I needed to get back on track after having some surgeries, I implemented many habits. The other thing is eating right. At times in my life, I've needed to change my diet for health reasons. And so I might just make a plan to do something and I frame it in the positive. So I might say, I'm going to drink 8 glasses of water today, or I'm going to drink these 2 water bottles today, or I'm going to eat at least 6 servings of fruits and vegetables. And then I would plan those out. So I would consciously, every time I sat down, try to make sure I was getting 2 to 3 servings of vegetables or fruits a day, which is not as much as you think. A half a cup cooked or a cup raw is a serving. Then I also have made an effort to consciously work on my relationships. And what that often looks like is, especially my husband and my kids, my friends too, but with my husband and my kids are grown. I see one of my kids at least every other day, so I don't consciously just call him unless there's something needed, because I spend time with him every other day. My daughter calls me often, so that's not really a problem or challenge, but I try to consciously make time for them. I have 2 boys that live about 4 hours away, 3.5 hours away. I make sure to reach out and contact them at least once or twice a week. That may not sound like a lot, and believe me, I'd like to do more, but they're in their 20s. They don't really want to talk to mom that much. So unless they call me, I consciously reach out to them a couple of times a week and check on them. With my husband, in my calendar, I mark down things I want to do with him during the week, or I add a relationship thing to my list every day. Yesterday was Easter, and there's a fly in here. I wanted to watch the sunset with my husband, take a walk. We live out in the country. It's beautiful. And I wanted to build go look at our cabin site and kind of get some ideas and just kind of talk and daydream about what we were going to do with the farm. I also wanted to watch a movie, so I found one early in the day when he was out working on the farm, and I picked it out so it would be ready to go, so we weren't scrolling through, Netflix for 30 minutes. And I did all of those things. I find if I plan, I am much better. On nights when it's really busy, the truth is we may not get to spend a lot of time with each other, because sometimes I'm not getting home till 9 o'clock at night, but I always try to ask him how his day was and what's going on, and we try to call each other often. The other thing is I try to consciously make time with him, because I'm rather introverted in a lot of ways, and I could just stay in my office or go back in the room and work out and do yoga and kind of stay in my own bubble for days on end. I have to consciously, it's not that I don't want to, I just have to consciously remind myself, because time will pass without me noticing. I try to make contact with my friends at least every other day, check in. Even on social media, I will consciously make sure to check my social media every other day. Sometimes I take breaks from it. Sometimes I take it off my phone altogether, but to share things with them and just stay connected. So in my business as well, I set goals every week, and I have I don't have it out with me. I have a great planner called the Business Boutique Goal Planner, and it has 3 things you need to work on for your business a day, 3 things for self-care, 3 things with your family, and what you're grateful for, as well as the daily list of things you need to do. And so on my business, I have 3 top things I need to work on every week. And if you think about that, obviously there's little things you work on all during the day, but if you consciously try to work on 3 things, then you're going to get so much done. And in a month, you're going to have at least 12 things done. And it sure makes a big difference in your success. I hope this has been helpful. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Hit the thumbs up to like, subscribe at the red square, wherever that is on YouTube. I'm sorry, I'm not super efficient. I'm a point and shoot kind of girl. And down at the bottom, if you would please share with me any tips that you have, or share in the comments below. And yeah, I appreciate it. If you have any questions for me, that's great too. Thanks.